make you believe in God. So a hand was shown in the ultrasound, looking like he's sculpting the baby inside of this woman's womb. Her name is Amanda Foster, and she posted the picture of her ultrasound, and she saw that a hand was touching her baby's face as if it's sculpting the baby. Mind you, she's a praying woman, and this is what she said. She says, each time before ultrasounds, I drop to my knees right in the doctor's office to pray for Kyler. In my prayers for him, I've asked the Lord to repeatedly keep his hand on my baby, and whatever his plan may be, for her to trust in it and be fully at ease. She said, I had an ultrasound yesterday, and my youngest daughter, Bailey, was the first to notice it, and she asked whose hand was that. But in one of his pictures, it has an appearance of a hand holding his head. Thinking about this last night more and more brought me to tears, and just to be thankful for all he has and all he continues to do for me. And I couldn't ever fathom a thought of living without him in my life. Isaiah 41:10. God says that I have knitted you perfectly and wonderfully in your mother's womb. Just straight knitting this baby perfectly in her mother's womb. And she was praying for his hand to be on the baby, and you see this hand. I don't know, this gives me chills, and it should give you chills. If you're not a believer, this is one of those things that probably turns you into a believer. Man, this is special.
My favorite glitches in the Matrix are those that line up with the idea that we live in a simulation. That programming and artificial intelligence can only create so many possible outcomes. Eventually, patterns are discovered, and it's hard to stop noticing them once you've seen them. Like these similar chickens doing similar things. Or characters in a sports game repeating the same motions at the same time. Some glitches entertain. Others you can't explain. Some glitches baffle the brain. Some make you feel like you're going insane. Some glitches can be explained by synced frame rates. And others explained by skilled professionals. Oftentimes, music can sync up and cause a weird effect. Some glitches make you scratch your head. Not once, but twice. Sometimes, physics get thrown completely out the window. A glitch in the Matrix isn't simply photos, videos, and GIFs. It's a vast collection of fascinating stories and experiences people have lived through or seen with their own eyes. Think about it. Cameras have only been around for a good 100+ years, meaning for 99% of humanity's existence, we never had the option to record these bizarre moments and visuals. Spoken word and eventually written word is all that we have. So for the next part of this video, I'm going to read some glitches in the Matrix that others have experienced, thought about, or witnessed. Has anyone else lost an article of clothing and you not realize that it's been missing until you look at photos from a year or two ago? Every so often I'll come across a picture of me wearing some random shirt I used to love, and I'd think, I love that shirt. What happened to it? So this got me thinking, where did all those pieces of clothing go? I don't remember throwing them away or donating them. I live alone, so no one else could have taken them as far as I know. And it's impossible that I left them somewhere in public and forgot to take them home, so where did all that clothing go? I died last night, but I'm still here. So this happened last week, and I'm still coming to terms with it. I got a phone call from my next door neighbor, asking if I could help him move a mattress upstairs. His mom is ill, and they have a big heavy sleep number bed. I, of course, ran over there to help, because they're great neighbors. I get over there, and his friend, who is a priest, was there to help as well. We worked together to figure out how to separate the mattress from the bed so we could fit it upstairs. We eventually get it all moved upstairs, when my neighbor asked if I could help them move a heavy dresser as well. I think nothing of it, and we pull it out of his travel trailer and start bringing it up the front stairs of the house. This is where I died. I was on the lower end of the heavy dresser, about 6 steps up, when my neighbor and his friend lost a handle on the heavy dresser and it came crashing down on me, and I fell backwards towards the pavement. I then wake up in my dining room to my phone ringing and my wife asking me if I'm gonna answer the phone. On the phone, it's my neighbor asking if I can come over and help move a bed upstairs for his ill mom. Confused, I go over there and meet his priest friend. I said, I can help you with the bed, but I can't help you with that dresser. My neighbor said, how'd you know about the dresser? So I explained it all and told them I'm pretty sure I died. After moving the mattress, I spent the next hour talking with the priest. He had so many questions. My neighbor didn't believe it until I described the upstairs bedroom in perfect detail, down to the metal mattress frame on the floor and the intricate headboard leaning against the wall. I had never been upstairs in their house before. The priest asked me what it was like. What did I see after I died? And I told him I never actually died. It happened, and I woke up in my dining room. Side note, this story sounds a lot like quantum immortality. That's the concept that refers to the subjective experience of surviving quantum suicide. In simple to understand terms, this means that you never actually die. When you get killed or you die in this world, your consciousness moves on to another timeline where you didn't die. It's a super weird and fascinating concept, and my partner just glitched and it's freaking us out. So this evening, my partner, 42 male, and I, 30 female, were upstairs sorting laundry, when his daughter, 17, called us downstairs as dinner was ready. I was heading down the stairs with my partner right behind me, literally 2 steps behind me. He did his usual thing of tickling the back of my neck as we walked. The bottom of our stairs is wooden, so you can hear when somebody steps onto it from the carpeted stairs. When we got to the bottom, my feet hit the floor as usual. I turned around to ask him something, and he wasn't there. He just wasn't there. On the top step, pale and shaking, I asked him, what just happened? And he just kept saying, I don't know. I don't know. I was behind you, and before I hit the bottom, the next step I took me back to the top of the stairs. The point is to increase your perception, so you too can begin to recognize the weird things that happen all around us every single day.
At first, nothing seems out of place until a figure slowly moves between the trunks. Its body is humanoid, upright, but the skin and texture make it nearly indistinguishable from the surrounding trees. Limbs stretch unnaturally, branches-like, as it creeps forward. Every movement deliberate and controlled. Its glowing eyes catch the faint light, breaking the illusion for a terrifying moment before it disappears behind a cluster of ferns. Witnesses note the uncanny camouflage, leaving them questioning whether the forest itself could be alive with something watching. At first, nothing seems unusual, but then a massive humanoid is seen, its posture upright, yet strangely relaxed. The locals tickled the huge figure in excitement with almost playful deliberation, tilting its head as if aware it was being watched. The villagers laugh nervously, pointing and whispering among themselves, unsure whether to fear or marvel at what they see. Each step seems exaggerated, almost theatrical, as if the creature is performing.
Immediately connected the image to the Black Charro, a dark rider from Mexican and Central American folklore, said to appear before major events or as an omen of misfortune. What makes this more chilling is that the footage is believed to have been recorded in Guatemala, and it was not the only case. Another camera in the same town captured a similar image on a different night. Watching this, I had to wonder whether this was coincidence or evidence of a legend still roaming the real world. If a ghostly rider truly exists, why does it only appear when no one is expecting it?
A small animal moves cautiously through the bushes, sniffing and pausing as if sensing danger. Suddenly, a massive humanoid figure bursts from the darkness, its elongated limbs moving with unnatural speed. The creature doesn't hesitate to lunge, chasing the terrified animal through the tangled foliage. Branches snap underfoot as the animal disappears into the shadows, the monster slowing only briefly to look directly at the lens before vanishing. Witnesses say the sheer speed and control left them questioning what kind of being could move like that.
Everything was completely silent until the water ahead began to ripple, as if something was crawling up from below, when the flashlight, beam pointed straight down. A woman's face slowly emerged from the water. Pale skin, wet hair stuck to her forehead, eyes wide open but almost lifeless. She did not speak or cry for help. She simply rose slowly, as if completely exhausted. What truly sent chills down viewers' spines was what appeared behind her. As soon as her head and shoulders surfaced, a long, flat shape dragged through the mud behind her body. It looked disturbingly similar to a crocodile's back, with rough ridges along the spine and a thick tail submerged in black water. It was impossible to tell whether this was her real body or something attached to her. For a few brief seconds, the creature slowly turned its head toward the light. Muddy water moved with each heavy motion of the tail. The camera shook violently as the person filming stumbled backward, panicked breathing clearly audible. The video cuts off abruptly when the flashlight slips out of frame. A narrow alley, dim yellow streetlights, no people around. Then, from the far end, a white figure appeared. At first glance, it looked like a woman in a long dress, black hair flowing down her back, slender build. But the longer you watch, the more wrong it feels. The figure does not walk, it glides. The dress moves slightly even though there is no wind. No footsteps can be heard. As it approaches the camera, some residents notice it does not lower its head or avoid the light, but seems to deliberately slow down. At the end of the clip, at the exact moment the figure turns, the camera clearly captures that its feet never touch the ground, floating briefly in midair. That detail convinced many people in the alley this was not human. Some claimed it was a kuntilanak. Standing at the front door was a creature upright on two legs, thin body, unusually long arms, and most striking of all, a goat-like head with clearly curved horns. Its eyes reflected bright white light as it stared directly into the camera, unblinking, unmoving. The creature stood there for several seconds, as if observing the house itself, then slowly tilted its head and even raised its hand as if pressing the doorbell. A very human-like gesture of curiosity.
A tall, thin figure slowly creeps into view, its movements cautious and deliberate, as if searching for something hidden. It pauses often, tilting its head and scanning the ground, then lifting its gaze toward the deeper woods. The way it moves feels purposeful, not lost. The person filming was reportedly in fear, afraid to make a sound. After a few tense seconds, the figure slips back into the trees, leaving behind only rustling leaves and the feeling that whatever it was searching for, it wasn't finished yet.
The camera records a human-like figure crawling along a road at night. But something is deeply wrong with its posture. Its face is tilted completely upward, eyes locked directly onto the camera, as if it knows it is being watched. A pale, expressionless face paired with tangled long hair creates an intensely disturbing image. It does not look like someone who fell, and it does not feel like a prank. Every movement is slow and stretched out, building tension with every second. There are no screams. No other people enter the frame. Just the entity and the empty road. That silence is what makes it truly terrifying. At first, the frame shows only a rock protruding from the water. But on closer inspection, there is a figure sitting on it. The upper body looks exactly like a woman, sitting upright with long hair falling down her back. Below the waist, the body extends into a tail that faintly reflects light with the motion of the waves. The entity sits there for a long time, almost motionless, as if watching or waiting for something offshore. Everything changes when a man's shout echoes from the shore, possibly a night guard or passerby. The instant the sound occurs, the creature turns its head. The movement is sharp and precise, showing it clearly heard and understood it had been noticed. There is no panic, no thrashing. Seconds later, it slides off the rock and swims straight down into the dark water, disappearing completely.
China built a humanoid robot that can get pregnant and give birth to human babies. Millions of people believed it, and it's completely fake. Here's what the story claimed. A company called Kaiwa Technology supposedly created a robot with an artificial womb that could carry a full-term pregnancy for 10 months. They said it would cost $14,000 and launch by 2026. Major news outlets around the world picked up the story. Times of India, Yahoo News, all reporting it as fact with technical specifications and quotes from scientists. Then fact-checkers actually investigated. The company doesn't exist. The lead scientist, Dr. Zhang Qifeng, doesn't exist. The images were AI generated. Every single detail was fabricated. But here's the scary part. The technology they described isn't even close to possible yet. Real artificial womb research can barely support premature lambs in lab settings. We're decades away from anything like what this fake story claimed, and yet it spread globally because outlets kept citing each other without anyone actually verifying the source. One fake story on Chinese social media became international news within days. This isn't about China's technology. This is about how easily completely fabricated stories can become accepted as fact when they sound revolutionary enough and nobody bothers to check.